I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Ms. Marvel issue number 24. Can Kamala and her new friend Red Dagger stop a massive transit accident from threatening Jersey City? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? So, as we rejoin the comic, Kamala and Red Dagger are still on top of a train that's headed for a terrible, if ultimately kind of slow, collision. Think less speed 1 and more speed 2. That was the one with the boat, in case you were wondering. Despite all the danger, Red Dagger is pretty taken with getting to see Ms. Marvel work so up close and personal. They had teamed up before in Karachi, but it's nothing like how they're working together now. Once again, it's very compelling to see Ms. Marvel, who up until this point has really always been characterized as the younger, inexperienced hero in most situations. Now she is the adult in the room. They seek to imply too that this situation might just mean that Red Dagger is falling for old Ms. Marvel. If nothing else, he's certainly falling in love with Jersey City, saying that the place has a kind of strange magic to it. It's a little run down, it's a little beaten up, yet there's a strange kind of magic there, mainly that the people who live there make it work through sheer force of will because, well, it's home after all. Wow, a pro-New Jersey message in a piece of media that hasn't been made by Kevin Smith. Wow, this might be a first right over here. All this talk about what makes the Garden State so special gives our hero an idea. After all, New Jersey used to have more railroads than just about anywhere else in America. And if this train is on the road to disaster right now, then they should just divert it to one of the older tracks, possibly something that goes uphill, which means the train can slow down. It's a solid idea, and Kamala makes use of her embiggened strength to change the tracks. Of course, what she didn't know is that this new track takes them through a bog, which means they really are going off the rails in this crazy train. The water means the hydraulics start malfunctioning and the train actually gets a lot faster, which means our heroes have even less time to solve this problem before a lot of damage gets done. Also, it's around this time too the media starts getting wind of what's going on with the train, and as such, Red Dagger and Ms. Marvel start blowing up the news. Not that people seem to care that much about Kamala. Oh no, they're all about the new shiny hero Red Dagger and his Bollywood good looks. Throwing her own safety and well-being to the wind, Ms. Marvel decides to get behind the train, embiggen and try and slow it down the old-fashioned way. This ultimately does the trick, but she ends up detaching the dining car. It would have crushed her to death too if Red Dagger didn't get on in there to help her out. The day is saved, and while both our heroes can hold their heads high, it's clear that the news media really only cares about Red Dagger, but hey, you know what, Kamala lets it slide this one time, taking something he said to heart. That perhaps even a hero like her can stop worrying about the city, stop worrying about the world for a minute, and practice a little self-care, something that she is desperately in need of right now as the comic winds down. So that was Ms. Marvel number 24, everybody, and overall I found this issue to be a slick conclusion to a nice little 2-issue storyline. I'm a sucker for any time a superhero story can remain nice and exciting while also not having to wholly rely on heroes punching villains all the time. Here we just had a good old-fashioned disaster where our heroes had to think outside the box and come up with creative and inventive solutions to deal with it. Heck, Kamala herself basically says as much in the story, what with being a fan of superheroes and everything, she recognizes the trope that's being used right now. Speaking of fans, that's kind of what Red Dagger's being right now. He is the fan to the ultimate fangirl. I'm interested to see how his newfound celebrity will affect him in America, especially because in his own country he seemed to work under the radar so much. Will he be okay with it, or will the fame ultimately go to his head and corrupt him? Who's to say? In summation, I would give this one another 8 out of 10. It continues to be one of the breeziest and enjoyable reads at Marvel currently. So that's Ms. Marvel. I hope you liked it, and as always, why not check out some of my other videos? Then you can follow me on Cape Joel so you're always up to date on what I'm doing next. And hey, while you're at it, if you're feeling in a supportive mood, why not head on over to my Patreon page. Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and they can do so for as little as $1 a month. So until next time, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again later. Bye-bye.